that, yes, I got indicted in September 25th of 2019, and now today it's September 20th of 2025, and it's taken 6 years of my life to resolve this indictment where people stormed into my house in the middle of the morning. Um, and there's no real answers after 6 years. I've been battling it out, not just myself alone, but many other physicians around the United States, many healthcare advocates, human rights attorneys, human rights advocates, in trying to figure out how our health system really actually works. And what are we actually doing? How is it that so many physicians, nurses, healthcare workers are being stratified and punished? And what's this all really about? Because it's not really occurring in any other industry to the extent that it's occurring in medicine. So that's one huge issue that needs to be rectified, and it needs to be rectified immediately. What I'd like to say also is that we filed many Freedom of Information Act requests where the government has been shown to be using artificial intelligence against healthcare providers, but the general population as well, and that they're collecting large amounts of data on people when they go on the internet, when they're using their phone, when they're on Facebook, when they're on all sorts of social media applications. All this data is being collected and it's being sold to the government or given to the government, and all that information is being used to target individuals, and we don't know how it's being used against us or why it's being used against us. But what we did figure out from the Freedom of Information Act requests is that they're collecting data on race, who you vote for, what kind of medications a person's taking, all the medications a person's taking, all their medical diagnosis. So there's really no more privacy anymore for people's medical information. And then they're targeting patients as well as physicians who are taking certain medications. And all medications are approved by the FDA because their benefits are greater than their risks, because the FDA is tasked to ensure efficacy. And efficacy means that a medication works, number one, and that the benefits are greater than the risks of the medicine. So all of these are very important issues that need to be resolved, and especially the artificial intelligence, as it's being used more and more and more over time. I'm expecting that more issues will be exposed in terms of bias from these algorithms, because nobody's really testing any of these algorithms, especially the ones that are used by the government. Nobody has tested to see if a government algorithm is actually accurate, if it's precise, if it's constitutional, if it results in freedom and justice. And so I think it's very important that this documentary have wide exposure in the field of medicine to ensure that a number of physicians are included, healthcare workers are included, nurses are included, so they actually examine what the process is that develops these black box algorithms. And then lastly, obviously I lost in my trial, and that was very painful. But there's several issues that occurred in my trial over the last 6 years that are extremely unusual. And I think a lot of those unusualities are a result of this artificial intelligence system and bias. And it's been going on for a very long period of time. And one thing I would like to share with the audience is the allocution that I have planned for to read the judge because all these issues remain, and I'm approaching my sentencing wherein I don't even know how the case against me started, except by some algorithm. So I'm going to read that allocution to your audience. But this is what I drafted because I live in Philadelphia. Your Honor, Philadelphia is not just any city. It is the city of Benjamin Franklin, who warned those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither. I stood in the smoke of September 11th, 2001. I stood at the two towers where they fell, and I enlisted right after that. The military taught me life is sacred. Justice must be righteous. Truth has a cost. Those lessons followed me into medicine, into every prescription, every decision, every moment now judged by this court. I do not stand here to challenge the jury's verdict, not today. I accept the process. I respect this court, but I also stand on the path of appeal, not in defiance, but in conviction, because the questions in this case about suffering, autonomy, and the limits of healing demand more than a verdict. They demand understanding. If I treated patients in pain, real, relentless, ravaging pain, if my choices now appear flawed, they were not born of indifference, but immersion, not arrogance, but anguish, the kind only those at the bedside know. I've walked among ancient stones in Ireland at Bruna Boyne, where Neolithic hands aligned rock with solstice light. There I saw, even in darkness, humanity reaches for meaning. We build, we hope, even when we don't fully understand. Medicine lives in the gray, between knowledge and wisdom, between what we can know and what we must decide, even when we can't. The doctor stands at a crossroads, hubris to one side, humility to the other, tools that heal or harm, and no oracle to tell us which, until time passes judgment. John Milton, blind yet seeing deeper than most, wrote, "The mind is its own place. It can make a heaven of hell, a hell of heaven." I have lived that. I've seen actions taken in mercy later called malpractice, care given in good faith later judged as harm. Not because I abandoned my oath, but because medicine doesn't happen in a courtroom. It happens in crisis, in silence, in trust. I do not ask you to excuse me. I only ask this. See the human being beneath the change. We are finite beings, imperfect in knowledge, infinite in compassion. When we face suffering, we cannot look away. We must act even when the world later questions that act. The law is spoken for now, but deeper questions remain. What is healing? What is justice? Where is the line between mercy and misconduct? Those questions will outlive this court. They will outlive me. And God willing, they will guide those who come after, the next doctor, the next patient, the next impossible choice. I am ready, Your Honor, ready to accept the sentence this court imposes, even as I continue to pursue my rights on appeal. I carry the weight of this moment and the hope that from it some wisdom may grow. If not for me, then for our children. That is my promise. That is my prayer. Thank you, Your Honor.